Hello, welcome in our today's episode. So today is episode 5, and today we have done something amazing, and we have also started on our API. Okay, so what we did in today's episode is making sure that all pieces are working together. We didn't do a lot of things, but at least we got the big job done of setting up the API, and it is working with Neon database. So here is our web version. So this is the web version, as you can see here. So we first created one route or one form that we had forgotten, which is for creating a school. So this is going to be a multi-school system whereby different schools are going to be using one system, and we just like they are paying per month or per year. So the first thing before you do anything is to onboard the school, or a new school has to register into the system before even registering students, teachers, and everything. So you have to first get this school on board. So we went ahead and created this endpoint. I added it here. It's going to be protected and accessed by only the admins, because onboarding the school shouldn't onboard themselves. They should be having someone from the the company for the system and guiding them. So the onboarding, we're just going to protect it here. Put admin, and we have a simple form with the school name with the logo. Okay, so you put the logo, and you can see the default one. We put this School Pro logo, and we'll be seeing how we are going to be using. We might modify this to add two logos, the one for the small screen and the one for the big screen, but for now just adding this one. Okay, so we built this form. After building this form, we quickly just paused the web, and we went ahead and created the API. So you can see we have a whole entire API working, running on Node.js TypeScript with Prisma. So the first thing we did, we went ahead and connected Prisma. We used the template that we built together in our series for building scalable API with Node.js, and we used this package that I also created. I have this package for the Next app, and we used this one to scaffold a new Node.js application that then we used to actually start our Node.js application. So this created a Node.js application together with Prisma, with some controllers, and these routes created. You don't have to waste really time creating these folders. So they were already scaffolded, and the only thing we added first was to go ahead and add our Neon database. So if you just go here, we are not using MongoDB, guys. So guys were like, why can't we use another database? So in this build, we are using Neon, and Neon uses Postgres behind the scenes. So we're just going to try and see Postgres and how it's going to perform. So you can see here we have Neon, and we have so far one table which is for the schools. So this is the Neon DB, right? And then down here in the API, we managed to create two endpoints: the post endpoint, which creates a new school, and this one. We went ahead and tested this in Postman. You can see we have two: the create school and the get schools. So here you can just see we can get all the schools, and we can also create the new school. So after testing in Postman, we went and actually tested it on our web app. So meaning that we connected our Node.js with our Next.js. So if you just come here and you check in our env, you see that here we have API URL, which is pointing to our Node.js application. Localhost 8000 API v1. This is the endpoint for the application, or for the Next.js, so the Node.js API, and then we used it in our action. Here we have schools, which is actually sending an API request to actually sends this data from the form, and it returns this data back. So if we are test it here, let's just get a new name. We can just get sovereign, maybe I'm just going to say Kagunda secondary, maybe here, secondary school, just like this. For the logo, let's just leave this to the default one, and then just like send. So this is now sending to our Node.js API, and you can see successfully created. So you can just go back to the Postman, or you can even just go back to the API here, and you can see here right now. I'm just going to scroll down, and we have this saying Cobra High. Okay, so you can see here school created successfully. If you can just maximize this, and this is Kagunda Secondary School with this ID. If we go back to the Postman and we create a fetch request here on get schools, I'm just going to send a request, and you can see that we have the Kagunda Secondary School has been onboarded with the default logo, and then with the slug, and this slug is generated from the Node.js backend with this, and this data also will reflect inside here in our neon. So you can see this Kagunda Secondary School is here. So this is what we managed to create in our episode 5. We started on the API because there is no way we are just going to be creating a bunch of forms that are not working and we're not connecting them. So we'll be creating like some route. We create the data, we work on it, and we see how it works. And this is going to give us really morale of seeing things happening both in the front end wise and in the back end. And lastly, first of all, we organized our folders very nicely so that if you go in the School Pro, you see that you have the API and the web, and even the mobile app will be down here, so that you have in this, you have all these ones really nicely. And the last thing we did was also in the web, we upgraded our Next.js to the stable version, which is 15.03. If you just go now in the package.json, we're using Next.js 15.03, which is a stable version. So this is what you did in this episode. I'm hoping so much, and it was really nice. If you are just like dive in, let's get started. Hey, hello, and welcome in today's episode. So today is episode 5 of our school management system, and today we're going to continue building, and today we're also going to configure the backend. So we have a lot of things to do, but before we do them, there are some of the changes I want to make and some of the changes that I've made that I want to show you guys. So the first thing that I did, I changed a little bit of the folder structure. So if you just see how I had built this, I had put in YouTube builds, and I had the School Pro, the project itself, the web version. So what I did is I created a folder called School Pro, where I'm going to put all the projects. So you have School Pro here. So I will have School Pro, which is the whole entire project, and inside I have School Pro Web. Now this one is the one we have been working on, the Next.js School Pro Web, and this is the web, the one we have been changing. So I just renamed this folder to simply web, and I added it inside the School Pro folder, just like this. So that I will just come inside here, I will add the API, School Pro API, and School Pro mobile app. We will have all those three here in the same folder, so that we can easily manage them when we want. Okay, that is one thing. The second thing, I want to upgrade Next.js to the stable version. So now we have the stable version, which is v15.03. Now the one we are using, if you check in the package.json, I'm just going to go here. We're using Next, which is 02. Okay, so I want to upgrade to 03, and then I see how we are going to move on. So to avoid a lot of issues, I will go ahead and delete this. So you can just go ahead and delete the node modules. Okay, so I will just delete permanently the node modules. So this one is going to remove all the packages. So you can just go ahead and delete this. Okay, and then after deleting this, I'm just going to change this to Next.03. So you can just go ahead and just like change this to Next. So this is the stable version 15.03, and we're just going to change, and then we install again, and then then I can see here, I think it is the node modules are gone. I believe so. I'm not seeing anywhere. So the node modules have been deleted. So right now I just want to run the pnpm install command and see if it's just going to go ahead and fix the dependencies. Okay, I'm just going to wait here and see if it's just going to fix the dependencies on its own. You can see here it is having a lot of things it is doing here. Just hoping that it's going to go ahead and add the dependencies that we need for everything to be able to work. And in a short seconds, we already done. Something is not right. pnpm dev. I don't know, like, why in a very short period it is already done. Okay. I have a problem with my Chrome. If you have any solution, I will ask for help. Right now, let me first try to run this localhost 3000 from Brave, and I want to see if it's going to load very nicely here. Okay, I will also load it in Chrome to see if the problem has gone. I did something in one project. Yeah, it looks like we are good. No problem. So right now we are using 15.03 as the Next.js we are using right now. You can see here Next.js 15.03 Turbo Pack. This is really nice, smooth. We didn't get any problems with the upgrade to 15.03. So if I just try to run this in the browser, for some reason I think I need to restart my machine, of which you can see right now I have this redirecting, and I think it's just like in the browser cache, and I'm not willing to remove or delete the cache for my browser. So this was something I did in one of the projects I was working on, and I set the redirects in the Next config, and right now in all other projects it is actually affecting them even when they don't have any settings in the Next config. So today I'm just going to be using this browser here, and so that we can just really move on. So there is one page that we need to build after realizing we cannot create anything this side. So in our previous video, we worked on a number of things, including, for instance, the categories. If you just go dashboard, like categories. Oh, okay. What's going on? Do we have dashboard? let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. And just click here, and we have, for instance, student directory, and then new student. So we worked on these amazing forms. Now, one thing that you have to remember, that this is a mad school system. Okay, it is a mad school system. We're going to have many schools using the same application. So we cannot create, for instance, this we are creating here is for which school. Okay, so we cannot use, or we cannot create all these models. We cannot create anything because we need to have a particular school or organization they belong to. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to have some pages for the onboarding. Okay, so I'm just going to create here. Okay, I'm just going to create here inside the application. I think inside the auth, since we don't have anything on the auth pages, I'm just going to go ahead and create another one, which is going to be school onboarding. So when you have a new school that you want to register, we're going to be using this route. So school onboarding. Okay, so I'm just going to go here and just have page.tsx rfc, and here just going to have h2 of the school onboarding, just like this. Okay, so if I just go back this side and I just want to go to school school onboarding, just like this. Okay, let me just see the spelling of the onboarding. Okay, so you can see here we have school onboarding, which is really nice. So what we just need is to create here a nice form for the to onboard the new school that you have created, or the new school that you are onboarding into the system. We are going to create a simple form, and this form is going to be asking, I think, two things: the school name. For instance, I'm just going to go to cloud, and just go to projects, and I'm just going to go and ask it to give us what to ask on the onboarding. Okay, so we can just go into one of these charts, and I'm just going to say that I want to build the school onboarding page. Okay, this is where we register a new school. Okay, we just a new school. So here, what fields do we need here? So e.g. the school name. Okay, maybe logo, and what else? And maybe the we could just like I don't know, have some things we ask here. And this is a point where if you wanted to generate a school, someone was proposing to generate a school page and something like that. I don't know, but for now you can just ask a few things like a school name, logo, and maybe a slogan. Okay, you can say here you can give me like more fields here. But basically the only thing, three things we're just going to ask is it's going to be a school name, the school logo, and then so you can see here the basic info school, the school name, the school logo, slogan or motto, the establishment year, school type. Okay, for instance, is it a primary, secondary? The education system. The education system is the national curriculum. Then institutional category, public, private. Yeah, I think this is good. Then we have the contact information, the official email, phone number, website, social media links, then address information. And this goes out of hand, like it becomes like really big thing. Additional information, the head teacher name. This is not in really. Maybe we could just like add it in some other in the settings. Academic year startup, like this information we're just going to add maybe in the settings, but in the onboarding, I think we're just going to put a few things that we can start with. So for that matter, I'm just going to go ahead and get a form that we used, the form that we used on for teachers. I'm just going to go here, teacher. Okay, like what did we call these forms? If I just go in components, dashboard, forms, we have the users, the parent. Oh, it was a parent form, not teachers. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this parent form. We just go ahead, copy this, and under forms, I'm just going to add the school. So here I'm just going to say school, and then I will just go here and I add, paste this. So this is going to be the school onboarding form. Okay, school onboarding form. I'm just going to rename this here, the school onboarding form. You have to register the school so that we have the ID and everything to be able to differentiate it when it comes to which school are we rendering when someone logs in, and everything is going to be attached to that school. So here I'm just going to go to the school onboarding, and here I'm just going to add this form, school onboarding form. Let's see what we can see here. Okay, so it is all over the place. Let's go ahead and add this in a nice max width. So you can just go ahead and add this in a max width of 3xl, max width. So max width of 3xl.mx auto, and let's go here and put this. Okay, so let's go ahead and also just act here with padding of 16, just to make sure we have everything we need. Okay, so I want this to be in a card, so I will just go and bring that card from, if you just go back to the dashboard, back dashboard, and if you just go to users, for instance, let's go to where we have like the students page, let's just go to new, So that is why we have this nice card that I want to use. Bulk student form. Okay, I just want to use this card here. So just going to copy this card. Let's take it to the onboarding here. And the inside here, I'm just going to cut this form. So while we have this card content, so you can just go ahead and remove the tab content thing and just add this. Then you can just go ahead and bring in these different things like this, and let's see at the card. Just going to go ahead and check the card here. Okay, great. Maybe that's like really small, maybe for XL. We're just going to add like more information the way we did here. Just going to add a few things to be able to onboard. Then in the settings, the school settings, where they can customize, add the headmaster and other things, they can add as many things as possible. I will take in that information, but for now we need a few things really. Okay, so I'm just going to go here and start changing some things here. So in the school onboarding form, so I will also just go to, I want it to be having the, I like this card format right now. I don't like this here. We're just going to remove this. We'll work with only this, the bottom only. So this header, I'm just going to remove it, and I will put another heading maybe. So let me just here remove this, and this, we have this form header. And I'm just going to, before I remove it, I'm just going to go here in shard. So in shard, I will just say shard. Okay, where is, what do I want? I want here where we have the typography. Okay, so I need this h2 title here, like this. So I'm just going to go and replace it with this. I'm just going to say let's welcome on board. Okay, please enter details to create the school or something like that. I can also just like ask here, did it give us any title for now? Like, I'm just step form layout. Okay, what would be the best title to this form? Okay, so here just say title and sub, complete your school profile, get started. So school registration, register your school. Okay, welcome to School Pro. Tell us about your school to begin your digital transformation. I think this one is good. And then we can just like I'm just going to use this one of welcome to School Pro. Welcome to School Pro. I don't know if I need to add any other like H3 here. I'm just going to simply add this as the description. Okay, so get this. Can just like get in here. Let's get your school setup on the school pro. So I'm just going to come here and like this, and let's see how this looks like. Welcome to School Pro. I don't know if we try like this. I don't know how weird this will look like, but let me just give it a try. Just like this. Okay, doesn't look so bad. And then this margin top, I'm just going to put of 2. Okay, and I'm just going to put them maybe text center. I don't know if that is a good thing or not. Okay, so let's just go ahead and have the forms. We're not going to have all these details. We want a very few details, like in the first case. Okay, I need the title, the school name, and the school logo, and the slogan. Establishment, yeah, school type. These ones are somehow important. I think these first ones here, they are the ones we are going to have only. Other things like the school contact details, all these ones are going to be updated on the settings page. So here we just need a few things. In fact, we're just going to put the school title. Would register only the school title, just like this. And then also apply the logo and the slogan. Only these 3 things are the ones I need. So I'll just leave the title, and then other things I'm just going to remove them. Okay, just like this, Okay, let's just see. I don't want to remove the image, so I guess the image is on this here. Okay, let's see how this looks like. Just here. Okay, so this is how so far it looks like. Okay, and I'm just going to center all these ones, and for these ones I'm just going to make them 2. Okay, so grid, I'm just going to remove this. Okay, so we have now the first name. Okay, I'm just going to go here, this select, remove it. So we just need school name here, the school name, and I'm just going to say here the school name, just like this. Okay, so what else do we need from the school name? I'm just going to say, do we need even the slogan? I'm not sure if a slogan is really important. We can just like put the school name, and then after registering it, then we can just like handle other things like going to settings and updating all that information. The only thing is just going to be the school name and the school logo only. And meaning that this card is going to be now to reduce more. So here, even if I don't put this, okay, I don't put this is going to be like this. And then the also for the logo, I'm just going to go here and leave this outside just like this. Okay, so nice. I'm just going to reduce height a bit, and this is going to be on this instead. Let's go back to 3XL and see. Okay, then so this image seems to be like really big, so I'm just going to also give this, go back to the form. So I'm just going to consider this image input and change a little bit of things. So if you just go to the image input, first of all, what we could do also is having the sizes. Okay, I'm just going to have two things here. First of all, let me see. Okay, at this point I just think this is, I think, okay. The only thing is the height of the card is really big. Because I cannot imagine like two things having like okay, let me just first also work on this. Okay, so here I'm just going to make this 2XL and this one 3, like to reduce on this to be a whole huge thing. And then text center, we have the padding Y here. Let me just say of 2. Okay, I feel like now it's just like maybe of 6. Okay, now this whole logo thing, okay, so we are just going to give a default logo. Okay, I'm just going to give a default logo, or we could just even put a logo side by side. I don't know how that one would look like. Or I just want to give a something to the image input. Image, I'm just going to pass in also the size. So here I'm just going to receive size, which is going to be actually equal to maybe by default MD. MD, so we just have like also large and maybe small, or you can see here is large. And then I'm just going to see here that size is not required, but then it is SM or LG, just like this. And based on the size, we're just going to do a few changes here. Based on some size, we're just going to do a few changes, and the one change I'm just going to do is for this height 40, width is full. Already here we are having the class names. So how about just like rendering a different thing here? So I'm just going to say okay, so I'm just going to bring here the size. I'm just going to say if size is equal to sm, I'm just going to render a whole different thing. So I'm just going to say return. Okay, let's start from reducing this thing here. How about saying here 20 for the logo, most especially here on this can I just go and pass in for instance here the size to be sm, and let's go and see if this is going to change. Okay, this didn't change as such actually. Let's see why. So if you just go back here, okay, the default is log, and then if it is small, oh, okay, so you're supposed to do the return thing. Okay, just say return, and then like we return this. Okay, just like this. Let's check. Okay, so right now it is small. We could also just like change the logo. Is it necessary to change the logo of the school? But just like leave it like this. So right now I'm just going to do in this one, I'm just going to see the school logo, logo, because this we're going to use this school logo at the back end. So the school logo, and then endpoint, I'm just going to say here school logo. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and call this, create this school logo endpoint in the API here. So API in the core here, I'm just going to go ahead and where is it? So you can just go ahead and duplicate this like this. I'm just going to name this as the school logo. Also just going to leave it to 1 MB. So back to this. Okay, so school logo is now working. Going back here, school logo and everything, and the school name. Okay, let's start by first removing all the unnecessary things that we don't want. The way we have, for instance, here the religion, remove this nationality. So we don't have, we don't need a couple of things, the ones we had put previously for the selections. Like all these are not really required, and in this case we even don't need to pass in anything like these props here. I'm not going to pass in any props. I'll just do it like this. Okay, like these parts where we have the initial, this is going to be typically initial image is going to be this. And then editing, we don't have any part for editing, so I'm just going to cut this and put just right here. Okay, we don't have any part for editing. Okay, and then this footer here, instead we're just going to have the submit button, like so I'm just going to come here and I say submit submit button. Okay, just like this, and we can just go maybe to the login, and we can just get the submit button here, how this looks like. Okay, so here I'm just going to have the icon, which is going to be like the send icon. Title is going to be like maybe just going to be create or something, or just a school or something, register school, whichever button you just have. Here is going to be, I think, loading, signing in, please wait. So it's going to be like creating, please wait. Okay, so let's just see what we have right now, or how this looks like. Okay, and we have an error right now. Okay, so this looks right now looks nice. We have the school logo. Maybe you just need to get a nice logo for the default. Okay, and the default, I will give it School Pro as the default. Okay, and how do we do that to get the, I'm just going to first of all duplicate this, and they just go back to the home page. Okay, so I just need the logo to look like this. So you can just go to Canva very fast. Just go to Canva. Okay, create a new design. I'm just going to say customize size. Okay, for this one, in this case, we'll just see, but let's say by default, I will give it a width of 500, a height of not 5,000, 500, and a height of 150 maybe. Like, I don't know how this is going to look like, but I just simply need to have like a default sort of a logo. So we need to design, need a circle like here, and then I'm just going to have the text school. So here, school pro, just like this, and then you can just like do this and just like this. Okay, so we're just going to give a default logo of School Pro, just, and I can change this. We use it, which font did we use? Is it Rethink Sans? I think we used the Rethink Sans. I'm not sure if Canva has Rethink Sans, so you could just come here and say Rethink. Okay, the Rethink Sans is really not there. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to bold this. and this one has to be typically blue. Okay, you can just go ahead and get this from here, colors, and then I think on the themes, I don't know if this, like this blue here has a color code. We can't just get this. I can simply also get it using my color picker. I can just click on this blue, and then I have the code. So copy this hash code, and we just bring it here and click on this. This is the blue, and then we need the graduation cap. So here, graduation cap. So we need a graduation cap to put inside here. Graphics, and just going to bring this one and just inside here, just like this. Probably I would have done this like behind maybe the scenes. You didn't need to see this. Okay, so I will change to do our logo the way it is. So it is this white, then school, then pro is also in the blue. So just do this pro here, and just go to color, and then bring this color here, and voila. So we have the this. Just going to do this, and I'm just going to do, I don't know if we should just like put a background or not, but I'm just going to go here and export this, download, just going to say transparent background, and let me just go ahead and download this. Okay, so I'm just going to just go ahead and open this logo and give it to be the default logo. So if you just go back to my downloads, I have this school pro thing, so I'm just going to, I can just copy it, and then let me just go and paste this inside the let me just paste this inside the public. I don't know where the public can be located right now. Okay, I'm just going to go here and I paste it here, school pro. I'm just going to rename this to the logo, just like this. And let's go ahead and see how this is going to look like on the school onboarding form. This is going to be the default image. We're just going to set here images, and just going to say logo.png. Okay, so just going back here inside the onboarding, school onboarding, just like this. Can you see the logo looks nice? I love it. So we can just like instead put the word that says customize your logo. So here, customize your school logo, your school logo. Okay, so this is just the default, and now you can just go ahead and add. If they don't add, we'll give these ones or this one by default. So yeah, we'll use this one by default. So you can see register school. You could just add this button to finish entire thing if you want, but I'm just going to leave it. I feel like in the center is going to look weird. I think I'm just going to leave it there. So you can just enter a school name, and they put their logo, and then register, and then boom, you should just go to the dashboard where you can start more further customizations. Now this part, I believe this is the part where you're supposed to transition the school. For the first things, you have to help the school and they register. You can't just like say everything is going to be automatically online. Like the school comes, they don't even call you, they just go and onboard themselves and they start using the system. No, it won't work like that. So one thing that you have to do also in this page is that we have to protect access to this page. So because wherever you put this page, or even if you don't put this link anywhere, but this page is still accessible like this, it is not okay at all. Okay, this will not be okay. So you need a way to safeguard this page from different people to register different schools, because this is a very big one. A school will register and everything is going to be based on this to be done. So we need to sort of protect this page. But if you think about it, how are you going to protect the page? Okay, because one way is you could create authentication and you give yourself a role. For instance, you give yourself a role of maybe super admin, and then when someone visits this page, they have to first log in and then they access this page. I think this can also just be like a nice route. Like if someone comes to visit the school onboarding, they actually first go ahead, they have to have an account. Okay, they have to have an account, then they have to log in and then they access this page. I think that is going to be the best route, I believe, rather than I was just going to create a password. But still, anyways, the owner of the application, the super admin, as a developer, you will still have an account on this. And I think we just like protect this page based on the roles. If someone has no role to come and visit this page, then we'll just actually protect this against this page. And that if that is the case, we might just need to remove it from the auth page. Okay, we might just need to remove it from the auth page. We're just going to create its own here. I'm just going to go ahead and create another group, which is going to be school actually. So let me create a new group inside here. It's going to be school, and then inside this one I will just go get this layout and this folder, copy them, and let's go ahead and add them in the school like this. Now we can just go ahead and delete this. Sort of we can delete this folder here, and now we'll have this under the school. Let me just go here and change this one to school, like the school layout. We can just like be school onboarding layout. In fact, just call it like onboarding layout. Okay, so this is good, and then we have the page that has this onboarding form. I think everything should remain exactly the way it was. There is no any change to this. Okay, so you can just go ahead and just go, for instance, put this link in the footer anywhere on the site. Okay, we could just go on the, for easy access to this page, we can just go and on the page, like here in this, we can just say, for instance, say for admins or something. Okay, or you could just even just leave the page there, but right now just like add it here, but in the future you can just like go ahead and remove this. So just going to go in the footer, site footer, and I'm just going to look in one of where we have these links. I'm just going to say, for instance, admin, and then I'm just going to say here, for instance, onboarding. Okay, just as simple as this. You don't need to put a lot of things, and just have like now admin which takes us to this onboarding page. Welcome to School Pro and Computer School Profile. I said with School Pro, so can I say customize this text? It doesn't also matter. Okay, done. So this page is done. So what at least I need by the end of today's video, we should be able to create a new school. Okay, we should be able to create a new school, and what else? At least a school, if we can create a school and register it, yeah, then we can just like see what next. So I'm just going to go ahead and first push this one. Meanwhile, I'm just going to scaffold a Next.js application right now, a Node.js application right now in a few seconds. But I just first send this git add dot and then a git commit, and you say here added school onboarding, and then like git push, just like this. Okay, nice. So as this is doing great, I'm just going to go ahead and scaffold a Node.js app, and we start creating at least our first endpoint to create the school. At least if we can just register the school, we get it, and we can just like start really starting from there. We see how we are going to put that, when a person registers, blah blah, all these things, they have to start from there. So you can just go to this, I'm just going to say, you just say docs here, docs.desishub.com. These are our docs, and then just go down here where we have Node.js. So we have Node.js here. Okay, Node.js setup. So there is a setup for Node.js, a step-by-step here, step 1, step 2, and all the steps. Now you can just go through all these steps. You can just go through all those steps, and I have even a video down here. Okay, for those ones who didn't watch, if you just go on the YouTube, we have a whole playlist for Node.js. Okay, I'm just going to pause this and just go under playlist. You will see that we have a playlist of 16 videos for Node.js. Please, if it is your first time to do Node.js, I really encourage, go ahead and see how we build this inventory management API in Node.js before you dive into this one. Okay, because this one we are just going to use some of the knowledge that we covered in this. I will not again start the setup. I will simply just show you how to start easily with Node.js. So if you just come down here, if you remember, there is one video I showed you how to create a command line. You can also go and on my video, on my search here, and type in CLI. There is this video here. I didn't know why this video didn't get traction. Like, I really put a lot of energy in this video when I was creating it. Like, I thought it's really important guys know how to push, for instance, how to create a package, how to create an npm package, and even a command line interface. But it seems that the guys didn't actually pay attention really so much on this, how to build the npm package. Guys didn't pay much attention to this really, because if you see it, it didn't get much attention. You can see at 236 2 months ago. So in this, what I did, I went ahead and created this. You can see create Next app. I created this CLI or tool with a GitHub template, that some different templates that we developed while we're just creating this Node.js, the Node.js playlist. In that Node.js, we built a lot of things, and what we did, if you just go back here in this playlist where we built the Node.js, these ones here building this API, we came up with some templates to use and some things that we created. You can just go and watch this if you just it's your first time with Node.js and Express. So I'm just going to use that here, okay? So you can quickly get it up by using this package. So this package I created here, it actually has the template that we are going to use, like the template which have the sets up the running tools for you. Like you don't have the way you see Next.js, you install and you start by really working on some nice parts. So we're not going to again to create that install TypeScript, install this. We're just going to use this one. I really spent some real time. I don't know if this really still works up to now, but I'm just going to go here, get out of this. So I will first temporarily just leave this one alone, go in the folder where we have the app. So I will just go in where we have the School Pro in the YouTube Builders School Pro. So inside here is where I'm going to put the School Pro API. So I'll just go ahead and open this in VS Code, or I can open this on the terminal, any you want. So after opening it here, I'm just going to open my terminal. I'm just going to run this command npx create Nodex app. Like I called it Nodex because it has Node.js and Next.js. So I just like joined them to create a Nodex app, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove this. I'm just going to call this one School Pro. Let's say School Pro API, just like this. So let's see what this one is going to do. I was going to say you need to install this. I'm just going to say yes. And just like put this one up here, and let me just go ahead and wait. See, so you can see here which language would you like to use. So we have here Node.js with TypeScript and Next.js with TypeScript. So we want Node.js with TypeScript. So it is setting up this, okay, Node.js, and is trying to install everything. Okay, let's just wait and see. I'm just going to wait for this. The good thing is that it does the install. I think it downloads the app and installs all the packages for you, and you can see here it tells you Project Pro API is ready. cd into this and run npm run dev. So just like do that, cd into School Pro API, and you're just going to open this code.-r. Okay, so this is our API. I'm just going to try to run this here in the terminal, and let me just try to run npm run dev. If this is going to run, okay, server is running on port 8000. Okay, so let's see what this one has. So if you see here, it has the normal things, has the source folder, which has a folder for controllers, has a folder for the DB, and has a folder for routes. It doesn't have anything to do with this. It has a schema, a simple schema here with only a customer. Okay, and then what else do we have from here? So we can just go to the index and see if we have any route. You can see a port, server is running, and we have only one route, which is this API v1 customer router. If you go here, you have some endpoints here. For instance, let's just get the one which gets the customers. Get customers. If you go in the get customers, it is actually getting the customers. Like this is nice. So we can just like simply modify some of these and we simply get started. Okay, this is why we created this, so that it can be very easy for you to actually get started. So I think the first thing you have to do is add the .env. Okay, the first thing you're just going to do is add the .env here, because right now we don't have, we have the Prisma. If you go to Prisma here, we have this. If you go in the DB, we have db.this, and this one is already there. In this scaffold app, we have the routes, which you have already seen. It has this route, the customer route. We'll be using this same technique to create our routes. And then what else? So the only thing I'm just going to do is create, and suppose I need to add a readme, so that, you know, like I need to add a readme for people to come and tell them to add the .env. But since we are all here, let me just go here and create this .env. And this is what we're going to add, because if you go in the schema here, it is reading the database URL from the env. So you need to have this env here, and let's go ahead and put database underscore URL. So let's just go ahead and go and get this. So I will just go right now and get the database URL. I'm just going to open this, and I'm just going to go to MongoDB. Now we could just actually, if you wanted, you could also use Postgres. I don't know, like, do we use like we could just use Postgres actually. Okay, we could just go ahead and use like the Postgres URL, and we also see the experience. Most people have been asking me about that, and we could also see how we could migrate from the Postgres, because I'm just going to go back here to this API. If you just see here in the schema here, we are using MongoDB, right? We can change this to Postgres, and we use Postgres, and also we give it a try. Most people have been asking me, use a lot MongoDB, why don't we use Postgres? We can use Postgres, okay, and we still use our Prisma, but this time we use Postgres. So you can just go here and you say neon, so you can just go neon DB, just like this, neon Postgres, and just simply, I'm just going to log in. I just need to get the experience to this, like to see how is it's going to be my first time to use it in a really big project. The first time we used it was, I think, in the invoicer. Okay, so you can just come here and just create a new project, and then they have the same thing here. Just going to create it and just call it School Pro Postgres version. And I think there's nothing you have to do here. They give you the 1 GB RAM. I just create. Just going to simply create the project. So the project has been created, and the only thing you just need to do is go here where we have Prisma. You can see they have Postgres itself, they have Next.js. They give you how to do this. Just going to click on Prisma, and you can see the first thing you have to tell you here is, in your Prisma schema, change the driver to Postgres. So I will change the driver here to Postgres, and you can see here the ID cries, and then the env, they give you here that do this, and they have already this given us this one. So I'm just going to copy this, and I don't know if you just have to put the name of the DB. Why do we put the name of the DB in this case? So I'm just going to go in the env and just paste this Postgres, and then I have this, and they think by default they give it this neon DB. So I'm just going to say School Pro DB, School Pro DB. something like that. So in the Prisma here, just going to change a little bit. Okay, just going to change a little bit, and the little bit we are going to change is going to be okay, just go to we can just like, I think, use this here. I just going to check for the documentation for Prisma, and this just like to show you that you have to be dynamic. If you're just like a developer, you have to be really dynamic. And I think the next time I was going to use I've started using convex a lot. Like, not I just started just like researching about convex, and I think it's really nice. So I must bring in some videos why we just use convex for real-time database. The video is coming up soon, so soon is coming for the convex. Okay, but right now just go get started with this, and I'm just going to say from scratch. So you can just come here from scratch and just click on relational database. So the first thing is connect. You can see the provider is Postgres. We have done that, and the only what changes is the migration things. You have to run migrations, and you can see like the ID here, it has to be in this format. Okay, so you could just come and use auto increment, or you use UUID. I think you can just like can you, I'm just going to say that if you just come here, you'll see that we can change this ID for this customer to use this. Okay, ID int. So I want the ID to remain the string because we are going to be having a lot of things. So I'm just going to say that here in this, let me just say, can you create for me, let me just say here, can you create for me a Prisma schema for school, maybe here school onboarding model, school onboarding model. So using it's going to use Postgres okay, just going to say here I'm using, yes, here I'm using Postgres, and can you make the ID to use UUID or CUID? So like we can just like use any of these ones here. Let's see what is going to do with the schema. Okay, so you can see ID is at string at default, and it is using this. So you can't just like use any of the two. This is what I just wanted right now. We can just like change this ID to use to be a string, as you can see here, to be, and it uses CUID, or you can use at default UUID. Like here you can just also try UUID. This will still work. So in any way, whichever you want. Okay, I'm just going to say what is the difference in UUID and CUID, and which one is most popular. So you could just say which one do most people use and why. Okay. Okay, it has created a lot of stuff here. Oh, this thing is just like really fast. Let me break down the difference between UID and this. So ID string a default UID, it generates something like this one. And then CID example ID string this, it generates something like this one. Okay, so UID is universally unique identifier, and pros is that globally unique across all systems, standard format, widely recognized, better for distributed systems, no external dependencies, fixed length 36 characters, cons, not sequential, can cause database index fragmentation, longer string length uses more storage, not sortable by generation time, can be hard to read or copy. So here we have CUID, which is collision resistant unique identifier. The pros shorter than UID, 25 characters, sequential, better for database indexing. Okay, sortable by time, URL friendly, more readable, better performance in a high insertional scenarios. Okay, so may require explanation to other developers. So proper usage is UID is more popular when working with distributed systems. This is more popular when building modern web applications. So okay, we're going to use that one. Using this result in this, and using this would result in this. So I think just going to go with CUID. It doesn't really matter, as I said, but just going to use my recommendation, use this, and you can see here it recommended to use CUID because of this whole thing. Okay, so we are actually just done. This is what we wanted, so we put this. Okay, we put this for testing purposes. We're just going to go ahead and bring the school. I'm just going to copy this. Okay, and go here, change this to school. Okay, and then also remove these ones. I'm just going to remove these. So we already have these two. So we have to say a name and then also slug. So the school has a slug which is going to be string, and at the same time at unique. So at unique. So the school, we can't have two schools with the same name. So this is going to be basically the model for creating a new school. And right now we are using Postgres. So we can just go back here in this one here, and you can see you have to go ahead and migrate to map your model to database schema. You need to do this migration. Okay, npx prisma migrate dev name init. So you can just go here and copy this command. So it creates a new SQL migration for this. It runs this migration file against the database. Okay, install Prisma client. We already have those ones, Prisma and Prisma client installed. Querying DB. Okay, so let me just go ahead and do this. Okay, open a new terminal, and I'm just going to run npx prisma migrate dev. I don't think like you just need to even pass init. I think like this, just like run this. See, okay, error, can't create database server at hidden east neon. Please make sure your database server is running at this. Okay, so that is a nice welcome. Okay, environment variables loaded, Prisma schema, Prisma db progress school db schema, schema public at this. Okay, we just get this, can't reach database server at this, is running. What do they mean is running? Okay, just go back here to the you could just go to the table here. So you say here school pro, we don't have any tables. Like this is the main branch, this public, neon. Okay, don't we just suppose to run like Prisma migrate Dave, something like that. This is the one we raw actually say npx Prisma migrate Dave. Why? Okay. Just like see, clear this. Okay. I'm just go ahead and just say Prisma npx Prisma migrate Dave. If you just say like remove the init and we just like run this. Why is it fading? I'm just going to go here and can I just like give to see if it can just like I have this error. Let's see here if it just like can just resolve for us this. Okay, this error occurs when Prisma can't connect to your neon database. Let's solve this. First step, check your database URL format in the env, Postgres username and everything, and then the database name. Okay, if you're using a neon database, add SSL mode required to your connection string. Without this SSL mode won't work. With SSL mode, so here let's say db name. I'm just going to go here env. Yeah, SSL mode is there. I believe it must be like the database. Do we create the database from here, or like do we sure have ensure like Prisma? So to test your connection, run npx db push. I think we are supposed to run first the db push before maybe the migrations. Okay, just like first run this, because this is what you normally just like run with npx Prisma db push. Okay, just wait and see. Okay, the same thing, can't reach database server at this. Okay, check if env is being read. But to give us this, they must be already reading the env. Let's see here. Okay, let's first see this neon db. They gave us this and I changed it. Let's just first leave it and I see. Let me just go back to this one, and they just try to put back the one that was there. I'm just going to do this. comment one, and let's just change this to neon db. Oh, I think like this neon db owner, maybe I'm supposed to put your let's just like first go here back in the quick start. Let's see here, I don't know if it is like the quick start. Like, are we supposed to put something? Store extension. In the env, if you just look here and I comment the line if you use Prisma less than this, and I put Postgres DB on this. Okay, I don't know if just like this one's supposed to be replaced. We can just go back and put this. Okay, and just see why. Just take this, and we have like this DB owner. Is that normal? I'm not sure if that is normal. I'm not so sure. Oh, okay, so I think it just must have been the database. You can see right now your database is now in sync with your Prisma schema done. Okay, so this was a different one. It went successful. I think it must have been the database. Does it mean that we can't create our own databases? Okay, let's go here to where we have like the main feature here. Okay, these are branches. Go to tables. So just see here under tables here. Okay, so you can see now we have school. So this is the table we just created here. Okay, and it is under this, so it means you cannot create. You just like simply push. You don't have to create anything like the tables and that, because here you don't have anywhere to actually create a new one. I didn't know that. Yeah, but we have it running here. It has, so you can just like still use the npx db push. Okay, so we can just like run the migrations now if you wanted, but it seems like everything right now is okay. Let's just like run the migrations and see. Okay, okay, I don't know why it is taking long to run the migrations. Okay, oh, so here you're saying here that added table school, change the school table, added the unique index slag. We need to reset the public schema at this. Do you want to continue or data will be lost? So you can just say yes, reset. Oh, did I say like no? Reset cancelled? Okay, I think just like this, let me see, like all data will be lost. I think this is just like okay. Let me just go back here. see here what it's going to do. Okay, so what I need right now, I'm just also going to open Postman. Okay, so I'm just going to, all data will be lost. I can just say yes, and I just run the migrations. We don't have data yet right now. Enter the name of the migrations. I'm just going to say, for instance, created, maybe I can say school table, just like this. And like this, the name of migrations, you can also just like here get the naming conventions before I just like move. Remember, we're just like doing this also for learning how for instance, how do I name my migrations? How do I name my migrations? Okay, normally just like you just like name them according to the tables you are creating at that point. So for instance, you can run npx migrate dev, and then you put that name and then the name of the migration. So for instance, this is name of the migration, and for instance, added school onboarding. So you can see here, really nice. Here, created user authentication, added student management, something like that. So you can say added school onboarding. So you can see here, added school onboarding, just like this. And this is going to create a migration file. Okay, so you can see applying the migrations, your database is now in sync with your schema, which is really nice. So every time we make changes, we run new migrations, and then like it does this whole new magic. So if you just go under migrations, you can see we have this new migration here, migration.sql, which has all the things that we have done. If you want to look at the SQL you have run, this is the one. Okay, good. So I'm just going to go ahead and close out this. And what I want to aim at is at least create a logic of the school. So we have this school. That means if I just come to controllers instead of customers, I'm just going to rename this to schools. So just going to rename this controller to say schools. So here, schools, just like this. Okay, and then here create new school. So say here create school, and then it takes in request and response. And then for now, if you just go in our schema, the school wants a name and a slug. Only these two things, name and a slug. So we can just go here, school.ts, name and a slug, just like this from the body. And then we can just say here new school is await db. So this db is there, and then we call the school db, and then dot school. Okay, so we have to generate the, let's generate the Prisma client. So let's first go ahead and stop our server, and then clear everything, and npx Prisma generate, and then npm run dev. Okay, So you can just like, okay, we have some reds, a lot of reds here going on right now. Info error route.post requires a callback function but got undefined. Okay, so this is just running here in the routes. So here, instead of just creating, just going to say create school. Okay, and this one is create customer is no longer there. And then another thing in the controller here, where we have create school, we get this. Now we should be having school, and then we pass in the name and the slag like this. And then let's say response this, and we respond with the new school. And then this one is I'm just going to go ahead and comment out all these. So just comment out. Okay, and then go to these routes, and these routes you can just also remove them. Let's work on one route at a time. So I'll just go here and do this. We work on only create, and this is going to be which endpoint? Maybe just say here schools. So schools, just like this, and then we have create school, and then on the index we're just going to have this one. This whole thing can't be just like be customers. This is going to be school, and then let's create the route. This route is going to be named school router. So just go call like school router. So here school router like this, and then we can just use this school router to create the school endpoint, and in the index we're just going to say school router. Then we can just like remove this here. Okay, so let's see. It says from here we have this API v1 school router, and the school router we have /schools, and it calls this create school, which comes here and it takes in this name and the slag, and then it creates here. So I believe on the on here we should now be okay. You can see we are running. I'm just going to get Postman. Do we have Postman here? Yes, so you can just like go ahead and open Postman. Postman is no longer supported. What is this? Am I just like in a browser right now? Do I have Postman installed on my machine? I'm not so sure. So I think like I don't have like Postman. I always want to use Postman. You can just like argue that you can use the one in the download Postman. Why didn't I just like download here? This is just because they store they took the other PC which had every software, but how come like I think I thought I had like this setup. I thought I had this setup some time back. Okay, so right now we have an endpoint that is waiting. Meanwhile, since I have nothing to do, I'm just going to try to get the one here. I think actually they have like also Postman. Like they have like Postman like in here, or we could just use, I think they have another one, they call it what? There is another one that I've forgotten the name, that you can use instead of Postman. I think if you just like You could just like come here and I say VS Code extensions that I can use to test API endpoints similar to Postman, just like this. So you can see, like, I want you so to get how I'm using this, how I use the AI. This is always you can see like how we use like how I use AI most of the time in my work. So there is this, it is I think called Thunder Client. Okay, there is Thunder Client, there's REST Client, Postman Desktop. While you're not VS Code extension, you can install this Postman. There is Insomnia. There is also Bruno. Oh, okay. My recommendation is Thunder Client. Okay, so this is still installing. It's just called Thunder Client, I remember. So Thunder Client, I think it is this one. Okay, 4 million. I think it must be this one. And you can see like I already have it installed. You must like look at this. There's rapid AI the Thunder Client. I think it's just this one. Okay, I'm not so familiar with it, but I believe we can just go ahead and create our requests from here. Collections. You can even put like the env environmental variables. Oh, okay. Nice. Postman has also finished, but let's first try standard this here. Okay, so just go back here and I just want to create a post to request. Okay, and the route is here. Just come here and we could just like save this as a base URL. I don't know. Post. Let me just come here and I say, so this is going to be API v1, I think, schools, something like this. And let's go here where we have the, let's take the body or something, and then we can just like, can I just say school here, like the name, okay, so just for instance school school pro, and then let's say the slug do I pass in, this is like slug is going to be like school school pro. Okay, localhost this v1. So I'm just going to go here before we just go to where we have the controllers, and I'm just going to go back, and after creating this school, just console.log also the new school. Okay, just go back to this release notes, and just go back here and see drop this down. Let's try to send a request. Processing. Okay, you can see this was successful. You just have the ID and then the name, this lag and this. And if you just go on the console, we have a new score. Good. This is good. Okay, so the problem we have right now is that we didn't check. So if we try to create this same request, like try to send this to create one more time, we'll get like some really weird errors. Okay, because this is going to be now on the Prisma side, I believe, because the School Pro should not just like be created for the second time. Okay, so if I just go to the terminal, this should just like bring like error somewhere, I don't know. Yes, so you can see here there is a problem here. Okay, the fields constraint here, unique constraint on the slug. So just handle this error right away. So just go back here, and the first check we have to do here is to check if the school already exists. So you just check this, and we can say const existing school. Okay, existing school is equal to await. So just going to say db dot find, okay, dot school first, and dot find unique, and just going like this, and we're going to say where, and then just say slug, where slug, just like this. And if existing, so you just say here if existing, so if existing school, we just need to go ahead and return, okay, response. So here just going to return res dot first of all status. Okay, so just going to say this is going to be 409 for conflict, and dot JSON. So JSON, we could just like pass an object here of maybe data to null, and then let's put the error here, and you can just say maybe here school already exists, school, maybe it says school name already taken, or already exists, whichever, or already exists. I think something like this. That means you have to be consistent with what is going to be returned here, status, and then this one here. We can just say data to be the new school, and then error to be null. So here you say error null, something like this. And then for this last one here, we can just also just go ahead and say data is going to be null, error is going to be something went wrong, something went wrong, and 201, this is going to be 500. So we could also just optimize this like to check if this, okay, I'm just going to copy this and give it to cloud, and say can the error handling of this controller be improved. So I just want right away from the beginning, we just get a very nice way of handling errors that we're just going to use entirely in the whole app. Okay, so I can see it just want to use Zod for validations, but the validations are going to use them on the client. Okay, so here you can see it first passes this into the validator. Okay, and then existing find first or slug name equals okay, existing school. I just want to see how this one is being handled. Just that's the only thing I want. So res.status 409.json data null error. So here existing slug is school with this slug already exists. School with this name already exists. So create a new school, then log success for monitoring purposes. Okay, this is okay. Okay, the log, I'm just going to take it. So basically this it approves this. Okay, it approves this. So you can see just like if error of instance this. Okay, so basically there is nothing it has just like really done. It created this error handler of which I'm not going to really use. Okay, so basically this was okay. Okay, this was okay. You're just going to use this here. So the only thing you're just going to add is this, where we have the new log here. Just add this one, school created successfully with school name and the school ID. Okay, so right now we have a better error handling. Okay, I just want to go back to the Thunder client here. Okay, just go back here, the new request, and just go ahead and again send this request. So we just see like now there is a big difference. So now you can see here, first of all, we get status of 409 conflict, and we have data null and error school name already exists. Okay, okay, so school name already exists. This is what we added here. The school name already exists, or the school with this name already taken. Okay, school with this name already exists. So I'm just going to say here in this, okay, in this error, school with this name is already taken, already exists. School with this name already exists with this name. Okay, so this is a good error. We have the error handling. If there is any other problem, we still handle it, but so far on this is already working. So we can just also just go ahead and get create another endpoint. So meanwhile, I don't know what's wrong, what is happening in this side. I always just get comfortable working with Postman, having a good space, and I can organize my things very well. So I'm just going to go ahead and install Postman as we move on, but I'm just going to go ahead and create the gate. Okay, so join Postman. You know why these days they want people to skip and take me to Postman desktop. I'm just going to this. Continue without an account. I just want to log in. I don't know what is going on here. Can I just like log in with Google or something? Okay, just always allow and open Postman. So the reason why you always sign into this one is that all your endpoints, even the one you worked on some long time ago, they are all in one place, which is a really nice thing. Let's see here, we still have, of course, some time. Still have like about 9 minutes to end this. At least I wanted to connect and we see if we can send this data from the other side and it works this side. So I will just come here and create a new collection, blank collection. The collection is going to be school pro, so it's going to have school pro, school pro. Okay, so you can just start by adding a new folder inside here. So add a new folder and we can start by onboarding school. Okay, so school or schools, whatever I just want to rename this, and then we can add a request and just change. So we have already seen the get the post. We have already tested the post request and it is working perfectly. We can just copy this and I'm just going to go to here, enter this. Okay, I'm just going to enter this and create where is the body. So you can just say here raw, and this, go ahead and bring also this. I can just go ahead and copy this and bring it in here, postman, just like this, and let's see if we just get the same error. So this is create school. Okay, so you have this create school and I can save this. Okay, so now you say send. Okay, so you can see here we have 409 still data. Now error school with this name already exists. So first of all, now we need to go ahead and see that we connect with our app this side. I don't know how many errors we'll get on the web version. So but let's just go ahead and go back to the web here, and in the web I will start by going to the env. I will add here one thing. How comes we don't have, I thought we set this upload thing. How comes we don't have any token or anything? How is it? Okay, I think we haven't set it, like maybe to work with any environment. Maybe we'll set that one later, but the first thing I'm just going to work on, we just go here and just put like the API URL. So just going to say here, I don't know if just like API URL, just like this, and the API URL, for instance, I'm just going to go to Postman, and you can see it's going to be this 800 v1. So I'm just going to copy this and let's bring it here. So people want to just learn man stack. I was people like telling me man stack. Now this is the actual man stack. So we have here localhost 8000 v1. This is our, I will create here actions. So we're just going to have here actions that is going to be communicating with our API. Okay, so you can just go here and create school or schools dot ts. Okay, and just going to say here use server, and then now we can just say export async function create school. Okay, and just like this. So just going to, sorry, just like this, and this is going to take in data. So for now we can just go school onboarding, and then there is this form. We can just come here and we say school props. So here school props. So we have the name and the Slack. Now you can just like also ask yourself, where should the name come from, or where does the Slack come from? So you could just generate the Slack from the backend, or you could generate it from this side, whichever you want. They all the two sides, they all work. So I'm just going to pass in only the name, and then at the Node.js it can generate they can generate the Slack, or you can just simply generate the Slack here and send it whichever you want. They all work. So if you say here Slack string, this has it has no problem. But I think the easiest one would be sending I don't know, whichever one it can still work. School props, just taking the school right now, name and Slack, and then come here school props, and you can see here just text in the name, and then you can just like generate the we could generate the Slack at the Node.js this side. I'm not sure, man. Like what should we which one is much better? So we could just like say, since we're going to use like the mobile app, so like maybe to create this, we could just like go ahead and just do it from one place. The Slack can be generated at Node.js, or it can be generated this side. It doesn't matter, whichever you want. If the data reaches here, where here, this is where the thing is. So if we want, we can generate it right away from here. Okay, or it just like comes, it just like will be okay if you want to bring it here, or you could just like bring the name and then you generate the Slack here. So we could just like say name, okay, and then you say const Slack. Okay, just going to say right now Slack, and there is a function for generating Slack. I can just go to the docs, and you can just like skip right now. First go to Next.js and just go to reusable. There is where we have reusable functions. You can just like scroll to where we have there is where we have a Slack here, and you can copy this and just bring it to Node.js. Okay, just go down here to where we have, so you can just like create a folder outside here or in src, wherever you want. Like we have controllers, routes. We can also create, for instance, the lib or the utils. So you say here, you say utils, just like this, and then inside the utils we can say generate Slack.ts. Maybe this can be a good thing because like maybe we have like more things needing Slack. So we paste this function, it is already using TypeScript, and then we can just go to where we have the school.ts here, create school, and we can just say here generate Slack, and then we pass in the name. So this is going to be always here. So we only bring in from this, we bring in only the name. So meaning that this side we only need to send the name. So for now, let me just add in the name. This is school props. Then so we have also the logo. How did I forget the logo? Let me first say here logo. So image URL. So image URL image URL. Okay, not here. I'm just going to come here, name, and then I'm just going to say logo, which is also going to be a string, just like that. Okay, so this is going to be logo. Okay, and for now I'm just going to, we're not, even if we don't upload the image, we already have some default image, which is this one. We just go with that. So the data right now after this, it will have to I'm just going to say response. So await is going to be create school, okay, and takes in this data, and just going to save this in a response because we have to handle some errors. So if you go to create school, it takes in data, it should be of also school props, and then this is where you're just going to send the data to the API. Okay, so I'm just going to say here in a try catch, just like this, send data, and then here console.log the error, just like this. Okay, so now if I just go back the school onboarding form, let's make sure everything is okay. So we just get this set loading and everything. So right now what I want is set this image. You can just write then push. Right now what I just want is to toast this like school successfully created, just something like this, and I want to get back this response. Okay, I want to get back this response, and we can just go ahead and console.log the response, just like this. Okay, so when we reach here, okay, I'm just going to get the full endpoint now. Just copy like this. So when you send in the create school, we can reach here and send data by using okay, const response is await, and you can just say wait. Am I just like using that? Have I forgotten to use fetch? And then here I'm just going to have the API. So on top here, I'm just going to say const base URL, const API base, maybe just call this one base API URL is going to be equal to process env app URL. Okay, so here we're just going to say to get the const the endpoint, so we just have to get the endpoint here is equal to, and we can just say concatenate dollar base, like the base API URL, then we can just say concatenate with this. So API, this stops on v1. Okay, so if you just hover here, this has, you can just say by default this. So here we have like this v1 schools, this is the endpoint, and we can just use the fetch. and then fetch, it takes in the endpoint. So just see here, select endpoint, and then select method, method post. Then you have the headers, application. I think I just like application. Do I still remember like what do we put here? Headers, and then like body. Why don't we just use like Axios? We might just use like Axios. I don't know if it's just like necessary. Body is going to be JSON dot stringify data. But then this the headers, I remember we have application JSON type. I think just like type here, like type application JSON. When did I last write the API? So I'm just going to ask also here to be sure. So for making API requests, should I use like Axios or just the normal fetch API? So you just like ask like which one is better in terms of like handling this. So like yeah, let me just here response Axios post, like Axios fetch content type, and then like body. So comparison, Axios advantage, automatic JSON transformation, built-in error handling, request response interceptors, and all these fetch advantages, no extra dependency built into the browser, lightweight. So my recommendation here is use Axios, and here is why. So just going to use Axios, guys. Okay, yeah, you can even just like base URL. You can even just like do something like this, even API dot post, and then you pass in like this is like what we wanted exactly. This is good. Okay. So let's just say go ahead and add first of all in the web pnpm. Okay, pnpm add Axios. Okay, so let's just like first add Axios. Okay, and then we can just come here and let's create this under let's go ahead and create this. So you can see like this whole concatenation we are doing, we can save it on top here. Okay, so Axios, import Axios from Axios. So you see here import Axios from Axios. Okay, so you can just like create this helper function which actually just like Axios.create and takes in the base URL, and the base URL, I guess this is the one we can point here, the base API URL. We're just going to see, and then here when we are creating this, you can see this text in the API, the timeout, the headers which we set, you can set, and then you can just come here, text in the school data, and then you can just simply do this. Okay, I'm just going to copy this try catch. Okay, this is, I think, another one. I'm just going to come here through an error. So let's just go inside here and have something like this. Response raise, okay, so give response await API. Now you can see we are using the API which is actually having this whole modified Axios, which uses our base URL, and then you pass in, for instance, schools. Okay, so this is like API v1 from the postman. Let me see, API v1 then slash schools. Actually this works, and then we pass in the data, which makes sense. Now if Axios is error, type safe error handling here, we okay, I just want to see like in the response what this is going to return for now. Okay, more especially on the back end. So just going to hit this on our form. Okay, we're just going to hit this, everything is okay, and we're just consoling the response, and we also have the error here. So let's just go and try the first trial, school pro, school onboarding. Okay, so right now I'm just going to go ahead and put the school. Okay, let me first put anything else. I'm just going to say Wilson Sun City School, Sun City School, not start with an error. So I'm just going to come here and I see, try sending this. Okay, successfully created, but it's still moving. That's okay. Let's just go here to the, first of all, to the Node.js. This is where everything comes from. School created, you can see Wilson Sun City was created. And if you just go to, okay, we have now, this has been created. We have the ID. The problem we have is that if you see what we are getting here is only the name, but this side we are sending a lot of data. Okay, this is what I just come to believe. On the web data here, you can see school props is name and logo. Okay, we send this data to the create school, and then create school gets this and sends it to the API. So on the other side, which is this side, we need to accept that this body comes with this, with also the logo. Okay, by the way, we can also just do some data types here. We'll just like look at that, and then we generate the slug, and then we can just go just a second in the schema. We didn't put the logo, so you just say here logo, just like this string, and then we can just say this one is not required. We can just like add this. We'll update. Can I stop the server? And then we just going to say npx prisma db push. I don't know if you just like supposed to run like the migrations or anything. And then you say npm run dev. I don't know what is going to happen right now, but npx prisma db push is what we have been running like on the MongoDB. Okay, so you say database is in sync. We have generated a new stuff, and this one I just made the logo not to be required since we already have some fields in the DB. So let's just go right now. First of all, try to send and we see if we can capture this error on the UI. Okay, so I want to see what happens on our UI here. Just go to, I'm just going to refresh console, and let's just go try to create again Wilson School Sun City register. Okay, so you can see here just brings like a post. Okay, error failed to create a school. So this comes with, I think, 500. It comes with under 500 internal server error, which is coming from I guess in the cache, because this is where we have this. Okay, so I'm just going to tell it that let me show it. Can I just go back to the here school? So I'm just going to say that for now we can also pass in this name slug and the logo. I think this should be okay. Okay, so I'm just going to say, how do I get, so if this is the what we have, this one, how do I capture the custom error messages from the API? So I want, if that is like the in this, because you can say if Axios error, oh okay, I think they're just putting it on this error.response.data.message. I don't know if that is like where I'm supposed to really put that. Okay, let's see here. So type of our error structure, this is good here. Okay, and now add response interceptor for consistent error handling. So you see api.interceptor.response.use, and then error if error Axios, API error is error.data message return API. Okay, this seems like it is complicating it. Okay, this is just like really complicating it. What I just want to see in this catch, can I how does this error comes, how does this error object looks like? Types of error, the message is, I would want to look at this error object that we have here. Okay. The response sorry, here we have this returning the 500 with this. What I can just do is, if there is, for now I'm just going to handle this, I guess, in the next episode. I just have to look for a way of handling the errors. Really, I just look at the one it suggested is really complicating life. That is not what I want. I just want it to come in the response here. Like in this response, we get back here. For now, let's exit loading to false. Everything right now we can create. The only thing we can just get from today's is that we can just create this endpoint is actually working. Okay, I'm just going to get another one. Is I'm just going to say maybe Cobra High School, just like this. I can just leave the logo. I'm just going to go ahead and send this. Okay, so you can see successfully created. And now here we don't have yeah, we have, actually there is a response here. You can see we have data, which is this one, and then we have also the error here. Okay, error null. I think we just like this is good, but so far this was created and you can see the whole information is back here. We can look at it. So this was really good to find that we have this really working. So in the next episode, we'll be looking at now connecting more endpoints, and from this, let me see the time. I think we can just create like the get endpoint to get all the schools that has been created before we go. But what we just do in the next episode is to harmonize the error handling. I need just to have very nice error handling this side when it comes to in the actions. This side here will harmonize how we are going to handle error handling for all our API endpoints, so that it will communicate very nicely with the front end, so that we simplify our life somehow. At least the create here, this is really small amount of code. I also need to see how we are going to harmonize the error handling, and then we'll be communicating, because this is going to work also in the React Native side. Okay, so in the last few seconds we can create one more endpoint here for getting the schools that have been created. Just come here and let's comment this, and it's going to be like get schools. Okay, and then here I'm just going to go and it says schools is await schools, find many, and then here you can just say schools. Very easy like this. Now we can just go ahead and put this endpoint in the routes. You can just say the gate, and then here's schools, and then here's get schools. It can't be like get school, it has to be get schools. Okay, it has to be get schools. Just remove this. Okay, so we can just now still go to this, but let's go here in Postman, and we can add a new request. Okay, and just going to say get schools, and you can just go here, the same API here, just like this, and just send. Okay, so you can just get all the schools here that we have created, and with the logos. Now this one has logo now, and even this one has logo now. So we have the schools and two APIs, two endpoints are working. So this is a very good start for the starters. And in our next episode, we'll just go ahead and see how we can handle that, or how we can start like really we have to deploy also. I think after creating the next episode's APIs, we'll go ahead and deploy our API online, so that it just like is working and we are working on the normal endpoints. But this is a good start for setting up, and I'm very happy that also we are using the Neon database, guys. Okay, so you can just come here, let's refresh. Okay, and you can see we have all the data here in the Neon database. Okay, so the ones people were asking about Postgres, right now we are using Neon, not MongoDB, and we'll see its performance as we move on. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you in the next one.